The Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach is a go. Competition underway. Heat 3 hitting the lineup, and what a heat it is. The 11-time world champion Kelly Slater currently sitting in second on the leaderboard. He's out there along with Nat Young, who's made his return to the championship tour. So much success in the past. Ronnie Blakey with Kaipo, and Kaipo Slater getting things started early.
Yeah, this is what a 4-point ride looks like. While we had break, catching up with Kelly Slater. And just a nice little paced start for Kelly. Keeping the board moving through here. Great rail work with that extra release he always gets off of those turns. Looking lively right now, the 50-year-old Kelly Slater. And a nice start, being very mindful of the clock right now to make sure that he gets a number on the board right at the beginning of the heat.
On himself, he's so primed for a big result there at some point, but it just hasn't come his way. As we see Slater up again. Just a quick look at this one. He's going to get out of there, but he does have the lead. Just the one scoring ride on the board, a 4 at this stage, and 20 minutes to go. He grew up at Santa Cruz, obviously, and Bells and Santa Cruz, Steamer Lane, compared a lot. A little flatter in that wave face, and someone like Nat can really let go of some great variety on the backhand, and he exploded through the lip on that last turn. So really looking to answer back now after putting up a low first ride, and just hangs on for a bit of a wobbly finish. That big helicopter, or the Kellycopter as we call it now. But here's the replay of Nat's ride. Couple of good hits on this one.
Couple of nice hits for Nat. I mean, the wave at the beginning was a bit slopey, so it kind of let him down. He was able to get a couple bangs right through the midsection, and then it got real sleepy here. So you can see Nat kind of having to fight with this one towards the end of this ride. Able to get up the finish, but it just looked like...
As we see, it looks like Owen sitting deep. Nice section standing up here. Big, clean backside float to get started. Drives up into the lip again. Bit of a transition turn there. We'll put a bit more into this one. And off the bottom, and a bit more vertical on the approach as he makes his way through to the inside now. This wave's starting to flatten out. But a lot of work done. Already looking like this is going to be the strongest ride of the heat so far, and he'll get the finish. Very clean.
Well put together ride. Well orchestrated ride, and identifying that wave, which had a nice steep section on the takeoff, really gives credit to Owen Wright and his positioning. You can see he paddled deep on this one, and he had a double up section, and that allowed that steep foam climb, getting over that section again, back up in the lip, patented backhand hook for Owen Wright, and back again. Just the tempo that he's able to surf on, like you were saying, top to bottom surfing, not a lot of wasted movement throughout this entire wave, just gliding effortlessly through this dead section. And of course, we all know that the finish is important, and Owen stabs it for the finish.
Getting a little bit more length in his equipment. I know he dropped back a little bit last year, Kipes, and just at times he felt a little twitchy. It looks like he's really smoothed things out with this ride.
Yeah, that longer rail line you can see completely utilized, and now when he gets on his toes, is able to just use that leverage to hook off the top in slow motion.
It'll be much better than the two. Slater on the outside. Big whip to get started. Generates plenty of speed to climb up into a tricky section. Got there late, but absolutely managed it beautifully. Great control as he rolls on through to this final move. And it's a beautiful section. And Slater absolutely clouded it. And gets a little bounce on the whitewater as well, sticking with it for the finish. So that'll be a good backup to go with the 4 that he had earlier on. And Kelly, not after a lot to get himself into the lead here, just a 3.18.
Struggle through that mid and end section. Meanwhile, Slater, right from the get-go, beautiful carve here, brings it all the way back around. This is where he's going to come up a little late, but hangs on, gets the board back underneath his feet, is able to get through this whitewater, a little bit of downtime through the midsection of this wave, but Kelly knows the dance. He knows what's coming up on the inside, and that's what he does. Bangs the oncoming section. He's going to redirect himself, and the redirection allows him to get one more turn. Now, bit forced turn, but extra points even for that nice finish showing control, Kelly Slater.
You want to juice it, and I think more than maybe any other location, Kipes, that the bottom turn at Bells is super crucial, and all the greats at this location have had it. Mark Occhilupo on the backhand could just hang on that rail for a really long period of time, because Bells will actually kind of shift and change. That bottom turn allows you time to set it up, and Kelly's first reef off the bottom, set up that opening maneuver so beautifully, and we're expecting a good score.
Yeah. Owen Wright on the replay, and I concur with that analysis.
Now, 10 years ago now, as we see Owen. This is live action. He's leading this heat, 4.23 on his last wave. Just looking to extend to solidify one of these positions to qualify for that third round. And Owen sporting a new sticker on the nose of his board too. All the Rip Curl team riders have that going on.
I like the look of it. The new logo was debuted here, and a great move by Rip Curl, and it's really aesthetically pleasing, as you can see on the nose of the board of Owen Wright. As we're going through this replay, and Owen doing what Owen does, not overpowering the wave, he's able to swoop back on that backhand cutback, and just doing what the wave requires, you know, not trying to oversurf it. He recognizes that that wave was petering out, so he had to just kick out, but it's really nice to see this stuff in slow-mo, Ronnie, and just the leverage that the lanky Owen Wright gets off the top there.
6'3", by far the tallest surfer.
Yeah. Kelly coming out swinging over there at Pipeline, but to your point, for the veterans, is kind of have to rethink their approach on a year-long tour when you start in Hawaii. Here's Nat Young.
Bang! Big first turn there from the Californian, as he now just works this one over, trying to find that connection through to the inside. Sitting 15th at the moment. Nat's had a really positive start to this season, and he knows how hard it is to get back to this position of being on the CT. He doesn't want to battle it out on the Challenger Series through the back half of this year. He wants to get himself to G-Land. He wants to get himself to Jeffries. Two events that you'd think a surfer like Nat would have a great chance at powering through a lot of heats in.
Opening 5 events, and that's how we're going to see who's going to make the cut. Here's the replay of Nat Young, and again, Nat lightning quick off the top, but then through this section again, I feel like the wave let Nat down just a bit, and so he really had to get light-footed through this. The water got deep, the water backs off. He's going to have to zig and zag to try to make the connection. Now, this downtime is not doing Nat Young any favors as far as points, but he realizes that he needs that finish, and, you know, kind of a soft finish as well, but not that was Nat's fault.
Really difficult to do here at Bells Beach. There's a lot more power in this wave than sometimes you can see on screen, as Nat looks to go chasing down a 6.51 here. Nice little sequence of turns, but this one just not really making that connection through to the inside.
Really uncharacteristic. Owen Wright's going to benefit from it.
Let's see if Owen can really shut this heat down. Again, starts with that clean floater to really set up that second maneuver. This wave already starting to flatten out, but he might stick with it. Just looking to improve on a 4.23. Owen driving up into this final section and absolutely clobbers that oncoming left-hander, and very clean exit as well. So we might have just saved that ride, and
all you got to do is surf it like you know how to do it, just like Owen Wright was able to do right here. Again, starts it off with that nice floater to skip that section. And you can see just calmly surfing and matching the wave for exactly what's on offer. Calm through that middle section, but then turns up the volume for the finish.
Elimination round before, so he's understood the urgency in this first round. Slater without priority. Swoops on one on the inside. Nat let this one go. Time winding down, and Kelly will have to surf this one like he's after a score. Great turn there, came out of it with a truckload of speed. This one flattening out a little bit. Nat Young will be on the outside, and Kelly's going to have to finish this one off nicely on the inside. It's been a decent ride for Kelly, trying to improve on a 4 to push the requirement higher for Nat Young.
So let's take a look at this and what happened. Nice opening snap for Nat Young. Knows he needs something big, just the float on the backhand and the wave just crumbling down the line. Really not giving him a pocket, really not giving him that cupped out face, that concave to really have a dynamic, any kind of dynamic maneuver.
Take a quick break. More to come in just a moment.